We begin with the following statements. One, obviously, I'm not the boss man. He's on the way. And two, Joel Embiid, you a bitch. Let's go.
Can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning! Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh, yeah! Woo! Let's go, baby! That's right. It's a twisted Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning, so let's do this right. Good morning. Yeah, you're not seeing things. The boss man is on the way. I'm just that lackey himself. So, yeah, we going to get this party started. Chris Simpson will be joining us a little bit later on to talk all things Broncos Chargers because we still got a Thursday night game to decide. And the college football playoffs are starting, dear God help us all. Which means Chris Dietz will be joining us and get totally Dietzed. And we got a lot to talk about for the college football playoffs. What up, Vic, joining us from the headquarters in Chicago. My man is going. And trust me, the one thing we ain't doing is this.
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
Yeah, we don't beat dead horses much around here unless they're wearing a Lakers 23 jersey. The boss man will be here shortly. I know he's getting ready to slide into the truck right now. But seriously, let's talk a little bit here as I'm bringing up all the stats and figures, as I always do. I run too many tabs and not enough of them. We actually didn't have much going on in the sports world yesterday. Believe it or not. We had some hockey go down yesterday. We only had 5 games. Panthers all over the Wild 6-1. That doesn't surprise me any. Red Wings and Flyers had a classic. Red Wings win 6-4. Maple Leaf Stars, that went 5-3 in favor of Toronto. Oh, crap. Yeah. Toronto actually picked up a win. Yeah. Utah over the Canucks 3-2, and the Ducks over the Jets 3-2. Figure that out. Yeah, that I got really nothing for that one. So, you know what? Let's take a look and see what's going on in the MLB with some hot stove news. Yeah, let's lead off today with a little bit of hot stove action. Oh, let's see who's doing what here. MLB, let's see, yeah. No, I don't need the videos, you dunks. Free agent and hot stove tracker. Let's see what's going on. Cody Bellinger has gone to the Yankees. Cody B has gone to the evil empire. He was traded for a right-handed pitcher, Cody Poteet. As if the Yankees didn't have enough of an offense to begin with. Yeah, I know they're going to be missing out on Juan Soto, but they got Cody Bellinger, and they have Max Fried. Max Fried and Cody B are now New York Yankees. Max Fried goes over on an 8-year contract. Oh, good Lord. Well, the Yankees, I guess, had to do something since Nestor Cortez ended up going to Milwaukee in a trade. The Yankees end up getting relief pitcher Devin Williams. Oh, boy. As if it wasn't bad enough, you know? As if it wasn't bad enough being a Boston fan. New York ends up getting Devin Williams, who, when he was good, he was really good. They end up getting Cody Bellinger, and they now also have Max Fried. Like, come on here. The only good thing Boston has done is sign Aroldis Chapman and Garrett Crochet. Crochet gets traded over. We end up sacrificing a bunch of prospects. And the day prior, we end up signing Aroldis Chapman. Okay, that's minor compared. But in doing so, we have lost we lost our catcher, Danny Jansen. He's gone to Tampa. Tyler O'Neill, we've lost him to Baltimore. We've lost 31 home runs and 61 RBIs to Baltimore on a 3-year deal. So now we got to figure out what we're going to do for offense because Tyler O'Neill basically ran it. Him and, Devers ran the offense. We literally right now really don't even have a catcher. We traded off one of our other ones, Carlos Navarez, ironically to the Yankees for a minor league right-handed pitcher. Oh, my head hurts after this one. My head really hurts. Like, seriously. Notable free agents that we still have. Luis Garcia, Kenley Jansen, Chris Martin, all of this is pitching. All of this is legitimate pitching that we have for notable free agents. Our offense is basically, locked up. It's just I've got I've got nothing here. This is sad. I mean, there's players we're in the running for. But the fact that we've literally just lost 31 homers and 61 RBIs with Tyler O'Neill leaving to Baltimore, it hurts. It seriously hurts. I guess there's somebody coming over looking at for pitching. Taking a look, Roki Sasaki, the 23-year-old Japanese standout. So the international signing period starts middle of next month. And it seems like the Sox are basically the huge ones in the American League that are looking to go after them. Because of the Japanese pitchers having success, with Daisuke, Koji, and Junichi Tozawa. Pitching development program is better than most teams. And general manager Greg Barslow can speak directly to, directly to the players. So, Sasaki amassed a 1.95 ERA across 4 seasons out in Japan. 2 years ago, he threw a perfect game, being the youngest in Japanese history, striking out 19. He even pitched for Japan in the 2023 WBC. So Sasaki could be a huge threat to come over to Boston. What went wrong in the Heisman selection, huh, Vic? Everything. Everything went wrong in the Heisman. Travis Hunter did not deserve the Heisman. The way A, Colorado fell off towards the end of the year, and B, yes, I know they picked up wins, but look who they played. Travis Hunter fell off at the end of the year. Austin Gentry should have won the Heisman. Plain and simple. The way he was performing all year long, averaging almost 200 yards a game rushing, is insane. But the fact of the matter is, unfortunately, you know what? It's a popularity contest. And Travis Hunter got so hyped up that everyone and their brother forgot about who else was in the party. I mean, seriously, this goes with any doggone postseason award. Doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what you've done. It's about how you're hyped. And because it's Coach Prime out there in Colorado, Vic, not only is it the school that he went to, but look who the coach was. That's the problem. The hype around Coach Prime put such a spotlight on, not just Shador, but anyone around, that Travis Hunter was basically blessed in a way to end up being the one for the Heisman. And really quick, let me get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. First hour brought to you by BetUS.com. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Yeah, it was the hype around Colorado. Yeah, Coach Prime hasn't done anything yet. Until they end up winning the big ones, Coach Prime ain't done crap. So, plain and simple fact of the matter is, there's nothing that can be done. And again, it lets the great players that should have won the Heisman slip underneath the radar, while the ones who were overhyped and underdeserving end up winning it. And unfortunately, I see Travis Hunter flopping in the NFL. He can't go two-way. He's got to focus on either being a corner or a wide receiver. And he spent his entire gaming in Colorado as a two-way. People really don't care about the Heisman anymore, Vic. I mean, there's no real backing behind it. So the sole fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter who did what for the Heisman. The wrong person won it, and now we have to deal with the hype of Travis Hunter going in. He's probably going to be the number one selection, and everyone fawning all over him, while everyone else who was at the Heisman Award, and Austin Genty's going to go high selection in the NFL draft. That's a given. They might as well call it the LBJ of football. You're not wrong there. You are definitely not wrong there. It's just nobody gives a damn about the Heisman anymore. They really don't. And unfortunately, it's tarnishing the award. The overhype, underperformance of this award is damaging it. It used to actually mean something to win the Heisman. Now it don't mean crap. Yes, I'm saying Hunter's going to end up going to Carolina. Carolina is going to underutilize Travis Hunter in the worst way possible, and he's going to flounder there until he ends up leaving. If he's able to leave, let's put it that way, depending on what Carolina does. Now, can they actually figure out a way to utilize him if they don't screw around and find out? But we all know how ownership in Carolina is. It's a complete, crapshoot. I mean, let's be real about it. But, what can we do? The pundits are going to be pundits and say, oh, this award still signifies we're the best in football, in college football. No, you clowns. It signifies who you want to win because you're hyping everybody up too much. If it was based on performance, Austin Genty would have had the Heisman locked up weeks ago. Frankly, he should have. But yet again, here we are dealing with the fact of the most hyped and underdeserving over the most deserving and underperformed. It's like, come on now. Well, underhyped. Because honestly, Austin Genty wasn't hyped nearly as much. No one had eyes on him. And yet again, here he was putting up nearly 200 yards a game. Bryce Young would need more than just one or two weapons in Carolina to end up turning that team around. They need an offensive line that's not a complete sieve. They need a running game that can actually stay stable throughout, 60 minutes. And they need a better secondary. They need to be able to draft a cowbell running back. They need to be able to draft a secondary that can help. Honestly, if they're going to draft Travis Hunter first, put him in the secondary. Forget him being a wide receiver. Put him in the secondary. Let him focus on that. That's where he would excel. I'm just saying. But as we wait for the boss man to come back in, let's take a quick break of this twisted Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning. And a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game?
Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meat beef of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays, so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Where you been?
Asleep.
God, man.
I woke up terribly late. I'm sorry, y'all.
Vic, one of these days we'll call a game together. We'll make that happen. Trust me.
You two calling a game together? And
Yep.
I get to sit back and be producer for a day?
Yep.
All right. I'm with that. Speaking of football, Thursday night football. Broncos and Chargers.
Who would have figured this game would get good?
Because I didn't expect anything from either of these two teams.
And yet again, the Chargers and Broncos both have a shot at the playoffs.
Yeah, because they can't get it. They can't get the division.
No.
Kansas City already took care of that. But yeah, this is one of those crazy who the hell would have thunk it type Thursday night football games. We had one earlier in the year with the Falcons and Buccaneers from Atlanta, and we'll get to that situation in a moment.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at things right now, and the wild card race is literally 3 teams: Broncos, Chargers, and Ravens. The Colts would have to win outright and hope everyone else would basically demolish themselves so that they have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens are sitting at 9-5. Pittsburgh's already clinched a playoff berth.
Yep, Pittsburgh is in.
So
you know of that bunch who could be left out in the cold?
Baltimore.
Yep.
They've been too inconsistent the last handful of games.
And the bad part is they haven't been using the weapon they got Derrick Henry for. Because
Lamar Jackson figures he can take over everything, and it turns out it doesn't work that much.
I said at the top of the season, and people thought I was nuts when I said this, that Lamar Jackson has horribly regressed.
Well,
in the immortal words of Deion Sanders, do you believe now?
Well, I mean, the problems have been quite, this.
Yeah. It's Lamar's fault that they're 9-5.
Yeah, it is.
It is Lamar Jackson's fault that they're 9-5. Because there were games he wasn't supposed to carry the ball as much as he did, and he did anyway.
Yeah, and it ended up, costing them.
And there are some games where Derrick Henry's numbers, and Victor pointed this out so many times over. Can you tell I'm still asleep? So many times over, Victor pointed out that there were games you were supposed to literally just run over people and not have Lamar Jackson attempt to pass. And yet Lamar Jackson attempted passes anyway.
Because Lamar Jackson feels since he's got this huge contract, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And I also blame coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamar running the plays, yes, but he can also check it off if he sees something he doesn't like.
Mm-hmm.
But coaching's the one that says, hey, look, do it this way. So while we can place a lot of blame on Lamar because he is the quarterback running this party, he's got the coach behind him. And the coach is the one screwing things up.
Is it safe to say that this could be John Harbaugh's last hurrah after 17 years?
Yes.
They don't
whether it's this season or next season.
Mm-hmm.
If the Ravens don't make the playoffs this season, they're going to be looking hard at internal changes.
Yeah, I agree. Let's pose this question to our Thursday football aficionado. Chris Simpson joins us. Chris, how are you, man?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
What up, man?
Good. The subject on the table is John Harbaugh, and considering where the Ravens are, as opposed to where they should be, is this the last ride for John Harbaugh?
Okay, and if it is, then who do you get that's better than him?
True. Very true.
That's one thing you got to put on the table. Who would you get that's better than him? Like, I like John, I really do. He's different from his brother. He's more laid back. He kind of has that Tony Dungy demeanor. So very, very calm, very laid back. You never see him really get in a referee's face. His players seem to like him. Be kind of tough to replace him, if you ask me. But then again, I also understand that you also go through coaching waves. One minute it's it's defensive minded guys. One minute it's young coaches, and I think that's the chapter we're in now. Like everybody's going in that direction where they want a young man. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, John Harbaugh is what, maybe 60, 61 years old, maybe even a little older than that, but he's adapted with the game pretty well. Plus, he unfortunately is in a conference with a guy named Patrick.
And that's where they ran into problems last year in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
In a little bit of a hangover because they're not fully in the playoff picture. They're sitting right there.
Right.
But they're not in the picture. There were some games that Baltimore should have won going away by using the weapon they got in the offseason, and they didn't use him.
Well, that's the problem with the Ravens. Anytime they lose, it's because they didn't feed Derrick Henry the ball. Derrick needs between 21 to 26 touches. You see what I'm saying? And when he gets those, the Ravens eat. Look at that 5-game winning streak. Derrick was the catalyst of that. Yeah, Lamar's been great. Lamar has had a phenomenal season, but it just seems like they're trying to force Lamar to be that guy when I don't want to say he's a product of the running game, but he does better when the running game is going for him.
Didn't we talk, Dog? Didn't we talk about this earlier in the season that Derrick needs to get his touches, but they're trying to force Lamar to be that guy?
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem, is trying to force Lamar to be that guy. It's just not going to work.
No, it's not, because my thing is he can only throw the ball, I say, no more than 31, 32 times at the most. Anytime he throws it over 32 times, that's a recipe for an L. He's not a guy that can take the game into his hands. You see what I'm saying? He's not a guy that can drop back in the pocket and win you a game with his arm. Like, don't get me wrong. Do I think he's phenomenal? Yeah. I think he's a superstar in this league. But, he's not in that bracket of Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow, and I'll even throw Justin Herbert in there, because those guys can all take a game over with their arm. Lamar can't.
Yeah, and he's never been that guy since he's been in the league. I mean, he was the guy at Louisville to the point where he got a Heisman Trophy. But if you look at the record of Lamar Jackson, and speaking specifically about the playoffs, and I go back to 2 games in Lamar Jackson's playoff career. Both times they were at home. Both times they were the number 1 seed, and both times they lost.
Yeah, because you sit at the line of scrimmage, you dare him to beat you. Like, that's pretty much the formula when it comes to playing Lamar Jackson, because everybody wants to compare him to Michael Vick, and my thing is this: I always say he's a better passer at this age than Mike was. Like, Mike wasn't consistently throwing the ball like that. Whereas now, you have Lamar. Like, Lamar has more confidence in his arm, but I want to see him take a game over with his arm. But look, the bell cow of this offense is the guy you picked up in the offseason, and that's Derrick Henry.
Yeah, it's got to go through Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Speaking of offenses sitting in the AFC, we got 2 tonight that have potential to light up the scoreboard. That's the Broncos and the Chargers. And who would have thought early in the season that this Thursday night game would mean a whole lot to both teams?
Yeah. Denver's rolling right now. I love what they're doing. The only thing I don't like is Bo Nix is turning the ball over a little too much. The Chargers, after winning that huge game in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, they faltered. I mean, they beat themselves in Kansas City because they didn't take advantage of opportunities. And, I mean, they just got absolutely lit up by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So my thing is, I want to see, can Denver get a running game going? I think that's the most important thing. And then number 2, can the Chargers get their offense jump started?
That's gonna be the toughest thing. And they got lit up at home by Tampa Bay. They got lit up at home by Tampa Bay. And saying it again, How do they bounce back from that kind of loss on a short week?
They're going to have to do it with defense. They're going to have to do it with special teams, and that offense has to get going, because it just seems like after that, after J.K. Dobbins went down, their offense just really struggled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dobbins is a huge piece of the puzzle out there in LA, and after he went down, it just kind of seemed like he took the offense with him.
Ooh, it's that time of the year, folks. It is that time of year, but we got a good one. We got a good one tonight. What other matchups are you looking forward to this weekend?
The Eagles and Commanders, I think, should be a fun one. I mean, it's been a 2-team race between those two in the NFC East since October. And the Commanders always seem to play Philly tough in Washington.
In Washington.
And I expect the same thing, but I just think the Eagles right now, they're hot. I mean, they have caught lightning in a bottle, and they have not let go. I mean, they're doing it on both sides of the ball. They finally got the passing attack going, which could be scary.
Yes.
That's one. Obviously, the Steelers and Ravens. I mean, still one of the best rivalries in the National Football League, and there's a possibility there may not be T.J. Watt. There's the possibility of just a few guys missing for the Steelers. We don't know if Pickens is going to be playing. And we knew this was a tough stretch for the Steelers. You play Philly last week. You're on a short week. You're playing Baltimore on Saturday, and then you got to turn around, and it's an even shorter week because you play the Chiefs on Christmas Day.
So,
these 3 games could kind of tell us who the Pittsburgh Steelers really are. That, and then I look at the Texans and the Chiefs. Is Mahomes going to play? But I don't really think that's going to make a difference because I don't trust Houston's offensive line, and I think the Chiefs would do enough to win. It'll be a lot of Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco just kind of playing ball control, and the Chiefs defense has shown you they're more than capable of taking games over.
And the thing with the Houston Texans, they have fallen into the bowl of inconsistency this year after being on such a roll last year. What has been one thing, or a few things I should say, about Houston that has made them fall down?
I'd say the effort. It's just not being consistent and kind of playing down the competition. But I think the biggest glaring issue is their offensive line, because Stroud he's been killed and he's been running for his life.
Yeah, Stroud has been pulverized this year, and he even I believe he's even missed a game or two this year because that offensive line has not kept him upright, and that's something we talk about a lot here on the show.
Yeah.
What's one of the matchup you're looking at this weekend?
That's pretty much it. I mean, just can't believe it's all winding down. Just
I
seems
can't
like,
believe it. Didn't we just get started with this?
Yeah, we did. I mean, yeah, we really did.
Well, I'm looking at the Battle of Indiana on Friday.
Oh yeah,
Indiana and Notre Dame at Notre Dame Stadium in December in a playoff game. There ain't a seat to be had in the house. Of course, you knew that with it being Notre Dame Stadium.
Right.
The Indiana Hoosiers come in riding the hot arm of one Curtis Rourke.
Right.
But then you got Notre Dame, who's on the hot streak of their own.
Right.
And this is one that kicks off the playoffs.
Yeah, what a way. What a way to kick off the playoffs. I mean, Indiana, they have one of the most proficient offenses in college football. I mean, they average about 43 points a game. They can beat you running the ball. They can throw it. And Curtis Rourke gets rid of the ball quickly. Notre Dame has a really good pass rush, so that's one matchup I'm looking forward to. And then I want to see this Indiana run defense, which has been the best in the country, going up against Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love is going to provide a stiff test for them, and that's our look at the first game of the college football playoff. And that's Chris Simpson with Simpson's Football Chatter. You can hear it every Thursday here on Snowman in the Morning. Thanks a lot, my man.
No
Merry
problem.
Christmas to you. We love you, and we can't wait to do it again.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
Indiana, Notre Dame, touchdown Jesus. Friday night, Notre Dame Stadium, and that starts the thing.
Two
That's not
things.
fair.
Two things. One, I don't know who the hell to pick for the game tonight between Denver and San Diego, because these are two high-powered offenses.
For reasons of we don't know who to pick.
Consensus Mulligan?
Consensus Mulligan. Whoever
That's
has
a first.
Whoever has the ball last wins.
This is a first for the show.
That's how I'm looking at it. Whoever has the ball last will win that game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 40-point game.
Believe it or not, they have. Let me look at the notes really quick. They got the Chargers favored by 2, and the over/under set at 41.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
I've been keeping an eye on the lines, dealing with the playoff games here for college football, and there's barely been any changes. Barely.
Yeah, barely being the operative word.
Notre Dame went from an 8-point favorite when this was announced to a 7-point favorite.
And
the only thing that changed was total points. 52.5, they're saying now.
Well, it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be a shootout.
You still taking Indiana? You did it. So you've gone from taking Indiana to screw this. I don't know.
Exactly.
That's
because
crazy.
Either of these teams can put up 50 points in a heartbeat. Notre Dame just wears you out, especially with their ground game with Jeremiah Love. And then we got the remarkable Rourke for Indiana. It's just not fair.
No. And again, as you said, this kicks the party off tomorrow night.
This kicks the party off.
This ain't right, dude.
And you wonder why I feel the way that I feel.
Friday's the last show, and we're going to have so much to talk about when we get back.
And you wonder why I feel the way that I feel.
No, I get it, man. I get it.
When it comes to this. I'll say it again. You wonder why I feel the way that I feel when it comes to this.
I get it.
It ain't fair, man.
No.
It ain't fair at all.
You know we're going to break it down more when Dietz shows up.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Y'all can tell I'm out of it because my brain hasn't turned on yet.
Well, why do you think I carried the first half hour?
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. You know what happened? I heard my wife's 6:30 alarm and then my 7 o'clock alarm. I said, all right, I got enough time. I hit the wrong button.
Oops.
I turned it off. What?
Well, that's why that's why I was like, man, we got 5 minutes. Where you at? All right, I'm in here.
You want to know where I was with 5 minutes left?
Sleeping. Out cold.
Out like a light. I didn't even wake my wife up in time. We both heard the alarm, and it took her a while to get to sleep last night. And I'm going, okay, I already know what kind of a day this is going to be. I also know what I'm doing tonight. And that's this. The Women's College Volleyball Championship, the national semifinals tonight, will kick off at 6 o'clock. 6:30 is your first serve with Pittsburgh and Louisville. And then the second game, approximately a half hour after that, it's Penn State and Nebraska, all 4 number 1 seeds.
Oh, this is going to be good.
All 4 number 1 seeds. Pittsburgh and Louisville, an ACC rematch with Olivia Babcock, the reigning ACC Player of the Year. And I will tell you, this is going to be something else, man. This is going to be fun to cover. Let's take a break. Final break of the hour. And then a present you didn't want, but got anyway. Worst Christmas presents, part 1, when y'all get back.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Dietz.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, No, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Dietz YouTube channel.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
I might be doing 3 games tonight.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. 3.
What's the third?
Broncos and Chargers.
Well, you'd be joining that in progress.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Don't push yourself too hard, man.
I'm not. Because you know who will come in here and drag me out of here.
Yeah, with the stage hook.
I don't think a stage hook is necessary. All she needs to do is just come in here and say, Mister, time for bed. And I'm gone.
Right.
And I'm gone. I don't need to do anything. Okay. I teased this yesterday. Worst Christmas gift you've ever gotten?
Can I say LeBron James playing on Christmas Day?
Yes.
There you go. There's mine.
Well, LeBron playing on any Christmas Day.
Yep.
And note I said any Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me that people actually want to watch him on Christmas Day.
I would rather flip over to Netflix and watch the 2 NFL games.
Mm-hmm.
That says something.
And I might be doing that with the misses.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Might be doing that with the misses.
Yeah, because I think, let me look at the schedule for Christmas Day for the NBA. Games.
Do we really want to?
You know what, man? It's for craps and giggles. I mean, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Spurs Knicks open it up at noon.
I'll be eating.
T-Wolves Mavericks 2:30.
I'll be in a coma.
Sixers Celtics at 5.
I'll watch that one.
Lakers Warriors 8 o'clock.
Damn.
Nuggets Suns nightcap 10:30.
Damn.
You don't want to watch it, but you're gonna have to.
I ain't got a choice. I don't have a choice.
Nope.
Good Lord. Good Grigamiggets.
Great googly moogly.
Mm-hmm. Worst Christmas gift I ever got was a cold. And I told this yesterday. It was a cold. Why? Because I got the flu on Christmas Day. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it got to me, but it got to me.
Right.
My dad, who was a master of concoctions, get sick, somehow whipped up one. And gave it to me, and he said, "This will help you get better." This is when I was so dizzy I couldn't see straight. Well, hi, Pumpkin.
Attention, hound.
You were up here a moment ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I couldn't see straight. I was so dizzy. And the next thing I was feeling better. And I asked Dad, "What did you give me?" He wouldn't tell me.
You know, I think we know somebody else that might be able to have an answer for this, for worst Christmas gift ever.
We'll start there.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Dietz.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
You know, the crazy part is this pumpkin up here that my wife gave me that says "Go Colts" that she did at her job. Pumpkin is trying to reach this pumpkin. He saw his namesake. Now, of course, he's being who he's being. Dietz is with us on a Thursday. What's up, Dietz?
What's going on, guys?
What up, man?
Okay. You mentioned you've been doing math.
Yeah, you know it's bad. You know it's bad when I'm doing math.
When
what the hell are you doing that for?
Let me explain. When Dietz does math before an appearance on Snowman in the Morning, there is something cooking. Or is there something cooking here? What you got for us?
There's a lot cooking. All right, so we're gonna play a little game because you know I like to reveal my knowledge in the form of game shows. So, all right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
How many teams in college football are ranked in the poll?
25.
25, right? So we have 25 ranked teams. 12 of those teams are in the playoffs, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 43 total bowl games.
Yeah.
Somehow this math is already screwed up. We have
I know where this is going.
But we have 43 games. Okay.
I know where this is going.
Okay. So let's just get that right there. 43 total games. 8 of those games are playoff games. So
yes.
We take those 8 out. That leaves 35 games between college football teams. 12 are ranked, so 25, we get rid of those 12. That leaves us with 13. There are 13 ranked teams in college football. I'm going to go, I'll get, Big Dog, I'll give you the first shot. How many of those 35 games, how many do you think are between teams who are both ranked?
7.
Okay, he says 7. Snowman, what do you think?
3.
Snowman, you are correct, sir. I understand this. Out of 35 bowl games, only 3 are between teams that are ranked.
Yep.
There should be at least 6.
There should be at least
6. They have 13 teams to pick from. They picked 3 games. 3 games between, and people wonder why the majority of the public does not care about bowl season. When you give us 3 ranked opponents. 3. And one of those is Illinois and South Carolina, which no one cares about.
Yep.
What are we doing?
Tell me where Illinois and South Carolina figure to.
Yeah.
What bowl game are they playing? That's a good question.
Hang on a second. Damn it. I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming.
You beat me to it.
They are playing in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl.
Ew.
Since when does Cheez-It and citrus belong in the same sentence?
When you're Snowman, to answer that question, when you're drunk.
You know what?
Well, we used to do it on I started it on when I did the Fifth Down Sports Show and we did our bowl preview. Our bowl preview for the listeners out there, when we did our bowl preview, we didn't preview every game. I would bring on somebody who knows nothing about college football, and I would just read them the name of the game. Just read them the sponsor and the name, and they would tell me if they were interested or not. And that's how we broke it down. And going through that and looking at all these bowl games and the names of them, it's absolutely insane. You get things like the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl.
Well, the only reason
has nothing to do with citrus. They have nothing to do with Florida.
Thank you.
And yet again, here we are.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, good for Cheez-It. They got they got 1 out of 3. 1 out of the 3 ranked games. This is insane.
This is absolutely insane.
What are we doing? I mean, this is what happens when you arbitrarily put teams in, and that we should be having ranked teams playing each other. That's what bowl games should be. Should be the best going against the best.
Well, I may have already answered this question myself, but who got drunk and started throwing darts at the board? 'Cause that's what this is.
That's pretty much. And then of course we end up with and I forget the name of the bowl game, so I gotta look it up. But then we end up with a conference matchup of BYU against Colorado in the Alamo Bowl.
That's the Alamo Bowl.
They play in the same conference. Why are they playing each other in a bowl game? This makes no sense.
Coach Prime's last stand, anybody?
It goes back to what you just said a moment ago, Big Dog. Who wrote this? Who was drunk off their rear end and came up with this?
And started yapping darts at the board? I mean, that's all this is.
They're so worried. They're so worried about the playoffs and all of the. How do we get teams into the playoff? How about we figure out how to match teams up first? that might be a start.
That might be a start
Holy
of a
cow.
solution.
The answer to that would be one of their arbitrary answers. Let's do it by strength of schedule.
Oh God.
Let's do it by. All right. If you instead of if you're the 6th team in the SEC, you get to play the 6th team from the Big Ten. Like, how about we do it by? All right. If you finish, obviously 12 playoff teams. If you finish 13th, if you're 13th on the list, you play another ranked team, and we go 13 versus 14. 15 versus 16, 17 versus 18. I mean, this is the obvious way to do it. And then you just keep going down until you get all the teams in. This is insane the way that they have this scheduled up. And that's what to beat this horse, Colorado and BYU are also one of the ranked teams against each other games. So we get a conference game against ranked teams. We get South Carolina, Illinois.
And then you get BYU, Colorado.
So we really have one game against that has ranked people in it that we really care about, and that is Miami against Iowa State.
You mean
that's an even better. That's an even better. I just have to mention that because that is in the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
You mean
don't
to
ask
tell
me
me
how that exists? It just
you mean to tell me we're doing this already?
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
Time. Pop-Tarts Bowl?
Yes.
Yes.
Where the winner of the team actually eats a full-sized Pop-Tart. As part of the
if they're not eating Pop-Tarts out of the trophy, then there's no reason to play this.
There's actually a mascot that will go down, get toasted, and they will actually have a Pop-Tart the size of a table for the winning team to eat.
Where is this game played?
That I could not tell you.
Give me a second. I'll find out. Give me a second.
Where is this game played?
Give me a second. I'll find out. Hang Hang on. Pop-Tart Bowl, Pop-Tart Bowl, Pop-Tart Bowl. You had to ask.
I'm just going to guess, and I'm going to guess it's at UCF Stadium. I'm going to guess Florida.
Hang on a second here.
That's my guess.
It's in Orlando.
What I tell you, UCF
Stadium.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, good Lord. Which prompts a question that Rod Peterson put to me when I was on his show a couple of days ago. Where was the last place you ate and what did you have? That'll describe your bowl game.
By the way, it's being played in Camping World Stadium.
Oh, that's worse.
Yeah, home of the UCF Knights.
Yep. Originally commissioned as the Sunshine
Repeating
Classic.
my
Now it's
That's where. Let's take a break. All this bowl talk is making me hungry. When we come back, I'll pose the question again. Last place you ate and last item you ate, that's your bowl game. Let's have a little fun when y'all get back.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals, chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quins.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BT in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meep of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, Sleet or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Last place you ate, last meal you had. That determines your bowl game. One of the fun questions we have is we're inside Totally Deets on this Thursday. And that math lesson made my brain hurt.
I needed Excedrin after that.
Excedrin ain't gonna help me.
It should, because that's where we're at. That's where we're at in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about college football just makes your brain hurt.
Yeah, except the game itself.
As the legendary Frank Thomas said in a commercial, and as my dad coupled it with, it ain't the fact that my head hurts, it's the fact that my brain hurts. Now, this flawed playoff system, and Deets, you called it the moment it was announced, starts tomorrow.
Yep.
What do you get tomorrow? A game in front of Touchdown Jesus at Notre Dame Stadium. Oh, here's the kicker. It's a Battle of Indiana. It's the Indiana Hoosiers that somehow found their way in. Yes, it's an in-state rivalry against a team that somehow found their way in, even though they got spanked by Ohio State, against a team that after they lost to Northern Illinois ran over everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, welcome to college football playoff. Welcome to playoff football in college. I mean, just look at the FCS.
Yes.
Look at the FCS playoff right now. It's basically the Dakotas versus Montana.
And that's it. Because
it's Montana State versus South Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the other game you have South Dakota State against North Dakota State. So it's basically the Dakotas against Montana.
Dakotas against Montana.
That's all you got.
Ridiculous.
South Dakota State and North Dakota State. And they decide, I believe they decide their championship on a Monday night, 2 weeks before the D1 national championship.
Well, January, they'll have the semifinals on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
The semifinal games are Saturday, and then a week from Monday they'll finish it up.
Semifinals are on Saturday.
They'll be done with their playoff before we even get to the second round.
Mm-hmm. How come they got it right?
And they said, "Oh, we can't do it." Because, well, they've been at this for years, so they went through some growing pains at the beginning, but I think they figured it out pretty well to where they don't have buys. All their teams play.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't, and because they don't care. And I say that in a good way. They do not care. They don't care if Montana State is playing in a playoff game and they win 52-12.
Right.
Which happened last weekend. They don't care. They don't care about those. They're not trying to rig these matchups to be, we need eyeballs on it, or we need it to be a close game. They don't care. They want to see the best teams play. They want to see the best teams play, and however it shakes out, it shakes out.
However it shakes out, it shakes out. Absolutely.
But the problem with that is in college football, and this is going to happen at the FBS level. You've seen it all throughout the playoff, even when they had a 14 playoff. Now that it's a 12-team playoff, it's gonna be even worse. I've told you this before because I've done the research. I've seen how this works. You're going to have repeat champions and repeat teams in the playoff every single year.
Every year.
In the FBS, Clemson has missed one playoff. They have been in every single playoff except for last year.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you all you need to know. With 12 teams, it's going to be even worse. You're going to have the same teams in it all the time. Go through the FCS. You see North Dakota State's won like 4 championships. They've played in the last 6, I think.
Yes.
So that means they've been in the game. They haven't, like I said, they win like 4 straight. They played 6. Why? Because everybody knows, hey, if I go to North Dakota State, I'm going to play in the championship game.
Right.
So all the players that don't want to play D1 college football, they go to North Dakota State. Know that they can play there, play on a stage, and people, get themselves to the NFL. That's how this works.
And in recent times, South Dakota State, because remember, South Dakota State now has a national championship under their belt, and they're playing, and they're in the rounds to play for another one.
It just worked out that those two are going against each other on Saturday. So gladly but one of those teams will be North Dakota or South Dakota State. One of those teams will be in the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So it works out again. I mean, it works itself out again. I mean, we saw this way back in the day with Georgia Southern used to just run everybody over.
Mm-hmm. Literally and figuratively. Literally and figuratively, because it was their running game that destroyed people.
Right. It was just, this is what we're heading towards, and we're gonna see this time in and time out, and because there's no structure to it, you're gonna hear these complaints. I guarantee you, 5 years down the road, you're gonna be hearing complaints from the mainstream people. There's not enough variety. We don't get enough teams. Well, that's because you didn't structure it that way.
Mm-hmm.
This is what a playoff does. It gives you the same teams over and over again.
Yeah,
and if that's what people want, that's what they're going to. That's what a playoff does.
Exactly. The best teams are going to rise to the top. Live with it.
Yeah,
and it happens all the time. It happens all the time. And the complaints are coming, like Dietz said, we don't get enough teams in the playoffs. There's not enough variety. Doggone Cord. There's not enough variety of teams in the playoff. Well,
and then when you do, and then the kicker, and then the kicker on this is when you do get a team like a Boise State that steals a bye from one of the big guns.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear a word about it.
No.
You don't hear a word about it. They get blackballed from awards. They don't get anything, and basically the media wants to say, oh they're here. It's nice. Forget about them. The same thing happened to Cincinnati when they were undefeated. Nobody cares. Mm-hmm. Nobody cares about them.
What do they do? They match them up against Alabama. They match them up against Alabama, even though Cincinnati was the only undefeated team in that playoff.
They gave them no shot.
None.
And it's like
no chance whatsoever.
But it's not. But it's not even that they matched them up with Alabama. They didn't even talk about it. They talked about they talked about all 3 of the other teams, and then they're like, and Cincinnati's here.
And Cincinnati.
But we don't care about them. They're doing the same thing to Boise State. Boise State is the 3rd team. They're one of the only teams with 1 loss, and they're looking at them like, whatever. Who cares? They've won. I think they've got the longest winning streak. Them and Notre Dame have the longest winning streaks.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares. They don't talk. No one talks about that. No one even gives them a chance.
Nope.
No one gives them a chance, and no one mentions them in the same breath as Notre Dame, because Notre Dame is Notre Dame, even though they share the nation's longest winning streak. And on top of that, to the subject that I wanted to discuss earlier in the week, but never got a chance to, Ashton Genty got screwed out of the Heisman.
Oh yeah, he did.
Biggest screw job of all.
Bigger screw job than Montreal.
Yes.
They gave the Heisman Trophy, which is the most outstanding player in college football, to a guy who was not even the most outstanding at either of his positions.
And not even the most outstanding athlete on his team. If you talk to real Coloradoans,
let's figure this one out. How is the most outstanding player a cornerback who was not up for the Thorpe Award?
More like most hyped player.
You said the most dynamic wide receiver who's not even up for the Biletnikoff Award.
Not even up for the Biletnikoff Award.
What are we doing? How are you the most outstanding player when you are not even up for the most outstanding player at your position? I get it. He plays two positions, but
he doesn't play either of them well.
Cole used to say it the best. Are you a master of your trade? Are you a master of none? I mean, a jack of all trades and a master of none. That's what he is, and that's not to say he's not a great player for doing that. That's fine, but to be the most outstanding player, and meanwhile you've got Ashton Genty winning the Doak Walker Award, the most outstanding running back. He's the best player at his position.
Mm-hmm.
He was the most outstanding player in college football. No one had Boise State even making a playoff. They didn't have them even making the playoff at the start of this.
Especially after they lost to Oregon. And it seems like now they have a chance to play Oregon again.
Yeah, they got a chance to exact revenge.
Mm-hmm.
I just like we said, like I said last year, that the Heisman Trophy is dead. It is a dead award. It doesn't even matter anymore.
It doesn't.
Because most of these people are voting before the games are even finished.
I hate to say it, but the Heisman has turned into pretty much every other big award that's out there. It's overhyped, and it tends to go to those who underperform.
And it's a regular season award only.
Yeah.
It's a regular season. It's a regular season award only, because Dietz was on the last time Dietz was on here. We talked about it, and we all said in agreement that Ashton Genty should win this thing going away, because you're talking about a running back that averaged 191 yards per game. And Dietz posed the best question. When you got your finalists, and it should have come down to Dylan Gabriel and Ashton Genty. And Dietz said on this program, folks, which should tell you this program's ahead of everybody, what if Dylan Gabriel goes off for 300 plus in the Big Ten championship, and you couple that with Ashton Genty going off for 200 plus in the Mountain West championship? Both of those things happen.
And here's the better thing about the Heisman Trophy voting. Cam Ward got more votes than Dylan Gabriel.
How?
Figure that one out.
How the
Dylan Gabriel has the greatest game in Big Ten championship history. Doesn't do anything.
Doesn't
do anything for him. Yeah, for a guy who missed his own conference championship. I don't know what games these guys are. I don't know what games these guys are watching.
And that's the thing with Travis Hunter winning the Biletnikoff Award, winning the Heisman Trophy. His team didn't play in the conference championship. They got outdone by Cam Scatterbo and Arizona State. And yet this happens? What?
By the way, I did a little number crunching dealing with Genty. He averaged 26 carries for $192 this season.
Mm-hmm.
Counting the last game.
He upped his average in the Mountain West Championship game by running for 209.
32 carries, 209, 1 touch. He averaged per carry 7.3 yards.
And that's not Heisman worthy?
By the way, since you mentioned Cam Scatterbo, you mean the most outstanding player in the Big 12?
Yes, him.
Yeah. Yeah, the most so again, go back to this. The most outstanding player in college football is not even the most outstanding player in his own conference.
No, not even the most outstanding player in the Big 12.
Again,
what are we doing? What are we doing?
Most hyped player, most underwhelming player.
And Deeds, that was one of the first times we started talking about the Heisman. I wanted to bring it up 5 weeks ago, and you said there's plenty of season left. This is what you were leading toward. This is exactly what you were leading toward. The most hyped player seems to always win the Heisman. The most hyped player seems to always win the Heisman. This is no exception because who were they touting since day one? Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter and Cam Ward, and both guys got to New York, and somehow Dylan Gabriel got left off that list.
And
by the way, his team's undefeated.
How does Cam Ward stay on that list when his team loses a shot at the ACC championship by losing, of all teams, to Syracuse in a game where they led 21-0, and they wind up surrendering 42 points in 2.5 quarters?
Yeah, you can't make that. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, you just look at common sense. Common sense would tell you to be the most outstanding player in the nation, you have to first be the most outstanding player in your conference. It should go in succession. Okay, you're the most outstanding player in your conference. All right, now we lump you in with all the other people from the other conferences. No, that it didn't even happen.
Gabriel finished 22 of 27 for 283, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Gabriel did not turn the ball over against Penn State. And Penn State, for the most part of the seasons, were some ball hawks, okay? But he threw 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. None. In the biggest game in Oregon history, even besides the 2015 playoff.
And even still gets
the most touchdown passes in a Big Ten championship game.
Mm-hmm. It belongs to Dylan Gabriel. It belongs to a team that came in and basically ran roughshod in the Big Ten when no one expected them to. Look at the pundits early in the year. Who were they picking? Ohio State, Michigan, to run the table. Who runs the table? Oregon. And Dylan Gabriel gets left off the board in the Heisman conversation.
Ridiculous. Again, this just goes to show how much media has an effect on awards now.
The Heisman Trophy is in effect dead. This is
the second year in a row the media has hijacked this award.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Victor Locke from Chicago. Does this selection erode the pristine image of the Heisman Trophy Award? I think it's been eroded for a long time.
It continues. It continues the erosion of this award. I told you, this award is becoming irrelevant. It's becoming irrelevant to be the Heisman Trophy winner.
It is. It is because the right players don't win it.
No, they don't.
99% of the time. The overwhelming choice, the overwhelming logical choice, and I hate to bring logic into the conversation, but hey, this is what we do. The overwhelming logical choice was Ashton Genty. I said that in Facebook groups.
I got a better question. When was the last time the logical choice actually won the Heisman?
Bo Jackson. By a point. Bo Jackson, by a point.
The answers when Bryce Young was clearly the best player in college football.
Yeah.
Bryce Young had an amazing season, and he went on to win it, and Alabama went on to win the championship. So that was the last legitimate where there was, but the thing about that was there was nobody else in that race. There was nobody else in the race. It was like Bryce Young and then everybody else.
Okay, rephrasing. The last time we had an actual race where the logical choice ended up winning.
1985, Bo Jackson.
The rate, yeah, a race for it. Yeah, we haven't had a good legitimate race in a long time.
All because of the media hype.
I told you, 1985, Bo Jackson won it by a single point. Won the Heisman Trophy by a single point.
I mean, this all started, and I'm not going to give you. I can't tell you the year. I can tell you the guys who were involved. This all started when the media and the Heisman group got scared out of their minds that Tyrann Mathieu was supposed to be the champ, and they gave it to Robert Griffin III.
Gave it to RG3.
They just gave it to him because they knew Tyrann Mathieu, who led an undefeated LSU team, was scoring defensive touchdowns, punt returns for touchdowns. He was playing on offense. He was doing basically what Travis Hunter was doing, but winning games.
2011, to answer your question, dude.
But that's because Tyrann Mathieu at the beginning of that year got arrested, got caught with marijuana, and they did not want him anywhere near
the
that.
Heisman Trophy.
So they basically said, all right, who's the next guy? And they gave it to Robert Griffin. And ever since then, the Heisman Trophy has been fledgling since then.
2011.
It was hijacked. It was hijacked. They gave no second chance to Tyrann Mathieu, and Mathieu was clearly the best player in the nation. And as you said, Dietz, the only difference between what Tyrann Mathieu did and what Travis Hunter did, LSU was winning games. Colorado was getting blown out by Kansas when they didn't. And Chris and I did that game. They only targeted Travis Hunter once.
One time in the second half. He got one pass thrown his way in the second half. If you're the most outstanding player, when your team is down, you're getting the ball every play.
Mm-hmm. They're looking for you.
That's how it should be. But
should be and are two different things. Should be and is are two different things. This just continues to prove that the Heisman Trophy has been hijacked and it's dead because they never. You know what Victor Lodge just said? It popularity trumps talent. And to me, Travis Hunter wasn't the most talented player in the nation. I've gotten in arguments in Facebook groups that are so hyped on Travis Hunter. And all I did to destroy their argument was ask one question. Why? And they went through all this. Well, he's playing two positions and he's playing them both well. And I'm like, really? And here you have a running back that's averaged almost 200 yards a game. And he doesn't get a vote for it. Here you got a quarterback that in Big Ten play that's averaged 300 yards a game, 325 as a matter of fact. Of course, I'm talking about Dylan Gabriel. And he doesn't get a vote.
Travis Hunter's the LeBron James of college football.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
I said it. Deal with it, everyone.
And I agree.
Find the lie in that.
There's no lie in that. There's absolutely no lie in that statement. Travis Hunter is the LeBron James of college football. He's a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Riddle me this. How come in the first half, and I go back to the game that Dietz and I did against Kansas, when they were looking for him, and yet he wasn't getting close to the ball. He wasn't beating his man off the ball. He wasn't beating his man off the line. He wasn't beating this man off the line.
No, he wasn't. His man stayed with him right within the first 5 yards and then kept step for step on the long route.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how can you be the most outstanding player when you have 160 yards in the first half and then 0 in the second? That tells you all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when he got the ball in his hands, that they were working, and
and that was toward the end of the first half.
They
They found a way back.
And then people that want to say, oh, he played on defense. How'd that defense do against Kansas? Because Kansas ran for like 300 yards. They couldn't stop them.
That entire game, Colorado, who many told to me was supposedly improving in defense, surrendered 525 yards. 300 of those came in the second half, and 285 of those came on the ground.
Because Colorado has no front four. Colorado has no front four.
And that was the problem we said with Colorado going into this with Coach Sanders. I will not refer to him as Coach Prime until he starts winning bowl games, until he starts getting in the playoff consistently.
Until he wins the big one, no one gives a crap about it.
Exactly. I do not care what people say to me and about me for referencing Coach Deion Sanders the right way. Coach Sanders. The Coach Prime moniker came because of the media, and they ate it up. First 2 years, has he won 10 games yet in the season?
I think they did win 10 games this year.
They went 10 and 2.
Did they go 10-2?
10 and 2. What were the two? And 2 of the losses were in the state of Kansas. The state of Kansas.
Exactly. They're 10-0 against the rest of the country. They're screwed against Kansas.
You know, the crazy part is they should have had a third loss to Baylor.
But they pulled that one out in overtime.
Should have had a third loss to Baylor, and they didn't. So all this hype about what Travis Hunter means to a team and whoever drafts him is going to get an outstanding corner and wide receiver. No, they're not. Because if they were getting an outstanding corner and wide receiver, Travis Hunter would do one thing I suggested at the top of the season. Choose one.
Yeah. We all know Carolina's going to end up with the first draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what'll tell you a lot about as you say, Coach Sanders. You want to know what'll tell us about him?
What's that?
Will these guys play? Will they play? And will they even suit up? That'll tell you how much control of that locker room he has. Will he have his own son who's getting ready for the NFL? Will they suit up against BYU? Will Travis Hunter, who's probably going to be the number 1 pick in the draft, will he even suit up against BYU? If Deion can get those guys to play in that game, that'll tell you that they believe in their coach. If his own son is going to say, "Nah, my draft status is more than this bowl game," then that'll tell us all we need to know.
And I say they won't.
I don't think they will. I mean,
I say they won't. Part 1 and part 2, it'll be at his behest.
If I were representing Travis Hunter, if I were a friend of Travis Hunter's, I'd be like, hell, there's not a way you step on that field for a bowl game when you are going to be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm. The only reason you'd play a bowl like this is pride, and that's where BYU is going to be dangerous. This is pride for BYU right now.
Right.
And they will flatten Colorado. Do you take a chance on having your draft stock get thrashed at the hands of a team that you don't even want to play?
This is Florida State, Georgia from last year. This is Florida State and Georgia from last year.
Yeah, because Florida State had nothing to lose. They were pissed last year.
And I don't want to hear any of that from I don't want to hear any of that from Colorado fans or from Coach Deion fans. I don't want to hear that excuse from them. Oh, their guys didn't play. Well, BYU has guys who, guess what? They want to play in that game because they love playing at BYU. And they have guys there who are.
Say that again.
They have guys who love their school. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
They have guys who
Like I
went
said.
there because they've done their Mormon mission. They've come back. They want to play. That's why they go to BYU, to play in big time bowl, to play in a bowl game against another team and show them their pride. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So if Deion's this mega coach that everybody wants him to be,
which he's not,
he needs to have those guys suiting up.
And he won't.
He needs to tell them to suit up. He needs to tell them, you have to play for the pride of your school. I came here to restore the University of Colorado's football team. You are a member of this football team. And if you're not a member of this football team, then don't suit up. The only way you play in a bowl game that's got one of the biggest payouts, save the playoff, is if you continue to believe in this team and its progress. Period.
And just look, you brought it up. Just look at the history. Just go back. We don't have to go back that far. All you have to do is go back, rewind the clock 1 year. Florida State went into that game, got embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened this year? Look what happened to Florida State.
They got thrashed.
They got thrashed in that game, and they had a horrible season. That's what bowl games are for these teams. For these teams that are not in a playoff, these are to get your guys projected for next year. This is getting your guys ready. Hey, we earned this year, but let's win and let's go out on a win. Let's go into next year ready to go so that we can make that push.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got guys sitting out, if you've got guys I don't want to play, or injuries are one thing. Injuries are one thing. If a guy's coming back from an injury, I have no problem with a guy who's injured saying, you know what, I'm not risking it. I'm not risking getting more hurt. Yeah. But if you have guys who are completely healthy scratches, that tells you all you need to know about the football program.
And here's the thing: is the Alamo Bowl isn't going to be on ESPN Plus. It's not going to be on a cable network. It's on ABC. This is a full-blown nationwide coverage game
on a network station. So a piece of that money's coming in. Look at it from the money standpoint. It's on a network station. When networks back in the day weren't paying that much, they are now. And part of that is because of all the streaming capabilities. So they're getting a piece of the network pie. And
the winner's purse is going to be bigger.
And I'm willing to bet. And Michael Lyle informed me of this. And brother Lyle, thank you. He lives in Colorado. He lives outside of Boulder. Richest payout, save the playoff games. Don't you think that even in the era of the NIL, these kids would want to play, show off their skills? Because there's going to be scouts all over the place, especially now with it being BYU and Colorado.
You'd think they would.
And again, Florida State thumped, goes nowhere. Georgia thumps Florida State. They're probably they probably have the best odds to win the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when people say, the Florida State didn't play because that game didn't matter. No, that game matters. Okay, it might not matter that season. It matters to your It matters to your program.
To your program. Thank you. It matters to your program. And if it doesn't matter to your program, then that should eliminate you as a coach. If you can't get your kids ready to play on a stage that's ABC, first and foremost. Second, has a huge payout. And thirdly, when you got scouts looking at you the entire game.
And fourth, not only is it on ABC, it's a Saturday night prime time game.
This and everything that Dietz said, if they play, then they believe in the program. And so do the future student athletes that are coming in. If they don't, then Deion just lost his entire contract.
Yep.
Let's take a break. When we come back, more college football stuff as we stay inside Totally Dietz after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BT in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E. Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I
Look at
can't
Ray
stand
J.
that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meat beef of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays, so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
I posed a question earlier in the show. What was the last place you went to eat and the last thing you had? And that will be your bowl game. I got 2 funny ones.
For me, there's a restaurant that's literally like right across the street from me. That's also a pub. So it'd be the Mainly Brews and Pub Cheeseburger Bowl.
I've got four choices. The Wendy's apple pecan salad bowl.
Oh dear God.
That's what I got my wife. Me would be the Wendy's Baconator bowl.
I wouldn't mind that one.
Then I can't believe I'm going to do this. Then you have the KFC, and I'm not making this up. The KFC chicken pot pie bowl, which is what my wife had for dinner.
Yeah.
And you had the famous chicken nugget bowl from me.
I could see either one of those working, actually. That's what's sad.
And thank you again to my buddy Rod Peterson for that question when I was on his show on Tuesday. The one I gave him was the Applebee's Oriental salad bowl.
Mine was the Chipotle burrito bowl.
I hope you're stocked up on the Chipotle.
In a literal and a figurative sense. Because I've had it. I've had it. My wife turned me on to those. My wife turned me on to the Chipotle burrito bowl, man. Oh, gracious. But that's our question of the day. All right. We're near the top of the hour. We'll take a break to bring in the top of the hour, and then we're going to get busy looking at the college football playoff play-in games, because that's how I look at it. These are play-in games.
And like I said earlier, the lines barely changed from when we looked at these a couple of weeks ago.
Not surprised. Not surprised. You're inside Totally Deets on a Thursday. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals, chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quins.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BT in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
and then you have Ray J. Like, I
Look at
can't
Ray
stand
J.
that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meep of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the third hour of Some Man in the Morning, where we ask the burning question, what the hell is a corn jerker? I'm serious.
We come back from a break, and that's the damn thing that comes out of your mouth, man.
Listen, I've been wanting to do this particular segment for a while about weird nicknames, weird mascots.
Man, you know what?
I lived in Chicago for many years. And when my friend Kevin brought this nickname to me, I said, there's no way that exists. But there's a small town called Hoopeston, Illinois. And their high school nickname is the Corn Jerkers.
I don't remember asking you a thing.
Stop it. Get some help.
I guarantee you none.
Say again.
No paper wants to put.
I got one better than that. I got one better than that. And a parent brought this to me during a baseball weekend. Chris, you talked about no paper wants to print that. How about no paper wants to print this? The Fulton Unity Christian Knights. He got it.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's
a parent brought that to me.
Bishop Bullwinkle, a little bit of help here, please.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
Now, who would want to print those two or the Cobden Apple Knockers? Exactly. Exactly. All right, let's get down to let's get down to it.
Well, but before we get down to the playoff.
Yes.
Let me circle back because I had an epiphany during the last break.
Uh-oh.
And I think I know that. I think I figured it out. I posed the question in the first segment of Totally Dietz. I posed the question of what are we doing with the bowl games and why aren't ranked teams playing each other? And I think I figured it out.
All right.
It's cowardice. It's they don't want Alabama to play Miami. Why? Because they don't want Alabama to crush Miami and have everybody that was saying Alabama should be in the playoff. College football does not want all the Alabama fans to say, see, we should have been in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? They put them against Michigan and say, hey, if you beat Michigan, who cares?
Right.
You know, who cares? You beat a bad Michigan team. But if they went out and spanked Miami, like I know Alabama would do to Miami, if they went out and spanked them, everybody that said Alabama should be in the playoff would be able to say, look, they should have been in. And let's say SMU gets crushed by whoever they play. Everybody would say, look, Alabama should have been in and not them.
Which would be Penn State.
Yeah, SMU's got Penn State open up Saturday.
Penn State.
So that's what I'm saying. That's it's not scheduling. It is cowardice. They do not want that at the end of the year. Like everybody said last year, look at what Georgia did to Florida State. They should have been in the playoff. They don't want that.
So what other matchups do you see where teams would have said we should have been in the playoff? What other matchups do you see there?
The only other one that we're going to get is Miami and Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
And if Miami goes out and beats Iowa State and beats their brains in, you're going to go, well, look, they just beat a team that was in the Big 12 championship game. And if Arizona State gets smoked in their first game because they got a bye, if they get smoked in their first game, they're going to say, look, the ACC is better than the Big 12.
Yeah.
That's how that's going to work. But if you look at all the bowl games, like I said, there's 35 of these games. We should have at least 5 between ranked teams, so we can go at the end of the year. These teams are good. These conferences are good. That's not what we got.
And it's not what we're going to get. Not for the foreseeable future.
Nope.
I don't think we've ever. Did we ever get that? Have we ever gotten that?
We used to get. I mean, we used to get it when it was just bowl games. When it was just bowl games, and everybody complained. Everybody complained. Well, the Rose Bowl is only the Big Ten and the Pac-12. All they had to do was say no conference affiliations. We're just going to put the best teams in and the best teams against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And get rid of the SEC champ goes to the Orange Bowl, or they go to the Sugar Bowl, they go to this bowl. Who cares about that? At the end of the year, get the best teams, let them play each other. That's what we want to see.
So, in your eyes, who should have been in and who should have been left out?
I said it right off the gate. I don't think SMU should have been in.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't win their way in.
Right.
I think Alabama should have been in because they had the win against Georgia. They played Tennessee. They got to play much teams, but you can make the argument they lost to a bad Oklahoma team. So
yeah,
I see the argument, but I think I would have switched those teams because I think Alabama won their way in rather than SMU, who just didn't lose and just didn't play anybody.
I agree. Well, tomorrow starts the playoff, and it's Indiana and Notre Dame in front of Touchdown Jesus. You want to talk about a team or two teams that can make a statement, especially the home team being Notre Dame. Here's their chance to make their statement about why they should be in the playoff.
Well, you got two teams that are going about this. You got Indiana, who's got the coach of the year, and you've got Marcus Freeman. And this is, I mean, it feels weird to say because he got them to a playoff, but this is a game Marcus Freeman has to win. Or Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame is different. Notre Dame is different than everywhere else. They are the Yankees of college football.
True.
If you don't win the championship, you had a bad year. So if they get blown out, by an in-state rival of Indiana, if they get blown out, people are going to start looking at, can Marcus Freeman win the big game?
And right now the answer is no.
Yeah, the answer is we haven't seen it. We've seen too many stumbles along the way. If Marcus Freeman wins this game, it does a lot for his portfolio. It does a lot to bring Notre Dame back in the discussion in college football.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a huge game for Notre Dame. A huge game for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Indiana and obviously this is the biggest game in Indiana. It's probably the biggest game in Indiana's football history. And they're already like they already won based on this year. Based on this year, they've already had a great year. This would just be icing on the cake to keep playing and keep playing in the playoff.
Right.
Yeah, but the problem is whoever comes out of this game gets Georgia next.
Yeah. That's
Good luck with that.
That's a big problem. That's a big problem.
Mm-hmm. And no, it's at a neutral site. They
It's
play
neutral
in
site. Let me take a look. I do believe it is.
I think it's the Sugar Bowl.
I'm scanning down right now. Yes, it is the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans,
which is a hop, skip, and a jump away from Georgia.
Which would turn that basically into a Georgia home game.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on who that is.
Either way you look at it, because you really think Indiana's going to stand a snowball's chance against Georgia?
Well, I'm just talking about the home game matchup. If it's Indiana, yeah, it's going to be 75% Georgia fans.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Notre Dame travels. Notre Dame has they fill their stadium. They fill their stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be an even, as far as the crowd is, it'll be an even matchup as far as who's home and away in that one. Even though it's right there in Georgia's backyard, it'll still be Notre Dame fans will fill that. They will fill that place.
Yeah, and then they'll get filled with disappointment once Georgia smokes them.
Oh yeah. On the field, definitely that'll probably be the best matchup. But again, if it's Indiana doesn't stand a chance. I'm talking about filling the building. They don't stand a chance. It'll be 75% Georgia fans to 25% Indiana. Not even close.
Now the thing is, we made these predictions early on once we found out the brackets, and Boss Man and I talked about this a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
We, outside of you, Brian, we all had Notre Dame winning this game. They were favored by 8. The over-under was at 52. The over-under is still at 52, and Notre Dame's only favored now by 7.
And yeah, after thinking about it now, even though Indiana is my wife's alma mater, part of my brain is saying to me, "You fool!" So earlier, I made a decision. And because I don't know which way to lean, I don't know what to do.
And that's why I said, do we make this just a consensus screw it game?
There's there's two things. There's one thing you do in that situation, and Brian, I know you know the answer to this one. You always go with the wife.
Always go with the And in my case, it would be Indiana. It would be the Hoosiers.
you always
go
with the
Hoosiers. I gotta stay with it because my wife's an Indiana alumnus.
You see, you hedge your bet that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go with the wife, no matter what happens, you win.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
I mean,
and she said something that was so funny to me one day when she said Indiana football used to suck, and she's not wrong there.
No,
now they're in the midst of the playoff. She woke me up one morning, and she said, "Am I dreaming?" I said, "About what?" She says, "Indiana being in the college football playoff." I reached in my phone and I showed her, and I said, "No, honey, you're not dreaming."
I mean, I took Notre Dame based off the fact of A, the run game, and B, touchdown, Jesus.
And
it's in Notre Dame. I mean, come on here.
At Notre Dame Stadium.
And looking over the notes, Dietz, you still had Notre Dame back when we started this.
Yes.
I got a feeling things ain't changing.
I agree with you. That running game at Notre Dame is what's going to come out. I said it. I said it in the breakdown. If this game, you'll know everything you need to know about this game in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really think it'll be the exact replica of what happened at Ohio State. Indiana comes out, has a great first. They come out of the gate pumped up, ready to go. Get that first drive, go march down the field,
and then Notre Dame wakes up.
And then Notre Dame comes back and gives them the haymaker. And that running game. The thing about running games is they don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
If Notre Dame gets on and they're running the football, they're not going to stop running it. See, passing games, you can shut down a passing game, you can stop throwing the ball and do all that. Running games don't stop.
No.
Once they get the lead, they're just going to keep on running.
Which part of me thinks,
what in the all types of blue hell
am I doing picking Indiana? Because my wife is an alumnus of Indiana. That's exactly why.
But dog, you mentioned the line. The line hasn't changed.
No.
What is that? That tells you right there that the money's coming in on Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And there'll be a lot more of it before they kick off tomorrow night. There'll be a lot more of it to come in before they close the line and they kick off tomorrow night.
Because if the line were, if a lot of people, if a lot of the money was going on Indiana,
mm-hmm.
that line would shift by a lot. And what it's telling you is the Sharks in Vegas are all going to Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, literally, I glanced at the lines this morning before coming on, and in all honesty, the biggest shift actually came with the nightcap tomorrow night, but everyone was still putting their money on Ohio State.
Oh dear. We'll get to that one. In fact, we'll take a break and we'll look at that one next, because I borrowed from the rule that Dietz set before me 8 years ago. Two things that travel: a defense and a running game. Tennessee has both. We'll look at that game when y'all get back.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
Do you remember our first group photo? This is it. Smiles all around, even though we were all nervous.
Who could have imagined that our first weekend together would soon turn into a lifetime of memories?
You're an amazing young man. Your brothers and sisters really look up to you. They're a big brother.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
There are so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
I ain't never felt so much love before in my life.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meep of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
Sports bettors, listen up. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back and in our 30th year of action. With live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service, we got it all. And when you sign up today and use the code SNOWMAN, you will get a 125% deposit match on your deposit. Log on to BETUS.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Attention sports fans, looking for the ultimate gear and apparel to show your team pride? Look no further than Fanatics, the #1 destination for sports enthusiasts. Visit snowmanmultimediasports.com today and shop a wide selection of officially licensed merchandise from your favorite teams and players. From jerseys to hats to accessories to collectibles, Fanatics has it all. Don't miss out on the chance to elevate your game day experience. Head over to snowmanmultimediasports.com/fanatics and gear up like a true fan with Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
It's no secret. Today's consumer wants convenience and likes things on the go. They want to be listened to and receive instant solutions to their queries. This can often make or break the customer service experience. That's why it makes convenient interactions easy for you. Whether your customers want to connect with you via text, Facebook Messenger, Google, Instagram, or website, all messages now come to the one easy-to-use inbox, so you don't have to check a dozen different sites from the platform. From here, you can send SMS or email, answer questions, schedule appointments, take payments, and close more deals simply by messaging back and forth with your customers. When someone searches for a business like yours, they will look at your reviews. So unless you have more positive reviews, they'll choose someone else. Luck makes it easy to collect hundreds or even thousands of reviews from your customers. Simply send a review invitation or create automation that requests customer reviews right after the sale, or maybe right after a service is completed. It will take them 30 seconds or less to leave the review. Now those reviews will show up on the search result and increase your ranking that matters most. Plus, our advanced reporting will show you exactly where your leads are coming from and if your website or ads are doing their job. So why are you waiting? Put your business way in front of your competitors, get more leads, convert more of those leads to paying customers by getting started with today.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Tennessee and Ohio State in the horseshoe.
Yep. And earlier when we were first looking at this game, Ohio State was favored by 8.5, and the over-under was at 47.5. Like I said, this is the biggest shift that I've seen. Mm-hmm. Now Ohio State's only favored by 7.5, and the over-under dropped to 45.5.
Good. I'm still picking Tennessee.
Yeah, we all called for the upset.
And it wouldn't be an upset. It wouldn't be an upset because Ohio State doesn't have it. I'm sorry, they just don't. You were supposed to beat the hell out of Michigan in your own house.
You didn't.
And get that berth in the Big Ten championship because it was sitting right on your door for 5 weeks. 5 weeks. You had the Big Ten championship at your door and you blew it. You blow it.
Yeah, plain and simple.
And they're going to get blown to smithereens in their own house, which to me, if that happens, signals an end of the Ryan Day era.
What tells you a lot about Ohio State is they have Travion Henderson and they have the transfer kid from Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
They have 2-star running backs and they can't run the ball. What does that tell you about Notre Dame or about Ohio State? No offensive line.
No line.
Yeah.
Because it ain't the backs.
No, it's not. It's the fact of the matter that the front seven get the gaps blown up on them and the backs can't get through. And let's be real, the pass offense isn't exactly there either.
Just ask Michigan. Because Michigan lived in that backfield all day.
And I think that's going to be I think that's going to be Tennessee's model for this. And I think it has to be if I'm on that sideline, if I'm with Josh Heupel over there, I'm saying, hey, pack the box, make Will Howard beat us. If Will Howard beats us, we'll live with that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to let them run the football. Put 8 in the box, go 1-on-1 on the outside, and see what happens.
Question
because
is,
that's what you have to do.
Question is, does Will Howard beat them?
Go back to the Oregon game. Go back to the Oregon game in Autzen, where they had a chance to beat the Oregon Ducks, which propelled the Ducks to the #1 ranking later on in the year, and they choked.
And if you watch Ohio State play, they get a lot of yards in their passing game, but it is a fool's gold look to it.
Yes,
a lot of those yards are not ball in the air. A lot of those are, quick throw. Guy catches it, breaks the tackle, and runs.
Mm-hmm.
Yards after contact.
Ekubon, great when he has the ball in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah Smith, the top recruit in the country, one of the best freshmen to come in. Guy makes amazing plays. Problem is, can Will Howard throw the ball down the field? Can he be accurate down the field? And I mean on passes 15 to 12 in 12 or more yards.
No.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can be. I think if you press those guys and you get them in a position where he has to throw the ball over the top of somebody, you're asking for trouble, and that's what Michigan did.
Mm-hmm. That's not only what Michigan did late in the game. That's what Oregon did.
Yeah,
pack the box and make Will Howard beat you, and Will Howard is not that guy.
No, he's not. He dinks and dunks it and lets everyone else kind of make it. He's only thrown 4 or 5 really good deep passes that I've seen. Everything else has just been yak for the wide receivers and coming out the backfield.
And that's why they're getting all of the hype, because they see the numbers and they know and most of the media doesn't look inside the numbers like we do. This is yards after most of this offense is yards after catch.
Yards after contact.
Yep, yards after contact hadn't been much. It has not been much. Meanwhile, you got a hungry Tennessee team that wants to prove that they were worthy of this playoff selection. And they got the defense to do it.
So now the question lies, does Tennessee pull this off?
Yep. I don't think it's particularly close.
And the other thing, and we're obviously we talked about Notre Dame before. The aura around the horseshoe is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Oklahoma went in there with Baker Mayfield planted the flag. Michigan's gone. Michigan's gone in there twice.
Planted the flag
and smacked them.
So
this last game they beat them 13. They beat them 13-10. That score was not indicative of how that game went.
No, it's not.
But that's what I'm saying. When we talk about Indiana going into South Bend, they're going into South Bend, touchdown Jesus. Tennessee is going into the Horseshoe, and it is no different than Tennessee going into, between the hedges, than Tennessee going into Tuscaloosa and Alabama. There's nothing's that's not going to scare Tennessee. Tennessee's not sitting there going, man, we have to play at the shoe. Like they're like, okay, it's just another place for them.
Not like they're going down to LSU or anything, going down to Death Valley.
Mm-hmm. It's another road game for them. They play in the SEC. They see tough opponents every week.
Exactly.
They're used to it. Ohio State is not. Ohio State loads their front schedule with cupcakes, thinking they're ready for the Big Ten season, and then lo and behold, a couple of times they get punched in the mouth. They're going to get socked in the mouth again.
And I don't think Ohio State's ready for the SEC style defense either.
Not with the way this Tennessee team loves to come at you.
But the other thing that surprises me is that they dropped the over under.
Yeah, 2 points.
That's weird. That's weird to me because you have Josh Heupel and Chip Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
What are the two things that they like to do? Score and score fast.
Yep.
So it surprises me that the over under went down.
I'm just looking at these numbers myself, and like I said, this is the biggest shift. Everything else has been minor. The other two games, legitimately minor shifts for Saturday.
I got Tennessee coming out of this game with Ohio State not having issue, running the ball down their throat. And Ohio State, I believe, doesn't have a chance in hell.
No, they don't. They legitimately don't.
I do have a question looking at the upcoming games.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're all in agreement that I think Tennessee and Ohio State, we're all in agreement about Tennessee. Here's my question though. Clemson's going to Austin, right?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
So why did they play the ACC championship game? I thought championship. Yeah, I thought champions were supposed to be the home teams.
Nope.
I mean, that's what they said. That's what they said. That's what they said. Oh, if you win your conference championship, you get a home game in the playoff. I guess not. I guess they threw that out the window when Clemson won.
One word, Texas.
I mean, I know, I get that.
It's a money grab for Texas.
What they sold us on was, hey, if you win your conference, you get a home game in the playoff. Well, Clemson won their conference championship. They should be playing in Death Valley,
and they are not.
They're not.
They're playing in Texas.
Yeah.
Why are they playing in Texas?
And again, this, like I said, this is one of the other games that only had a minor shift. When we first started talking about this, Texas was favored by 11. Now they're favored by 12.
They wanted to rig this for Texas.
That tells you everything you need. Everything you need to know. All the money's going on Texas.
All the money's going on.
I mean, we all picked Texas anyway.
Mm-hmm.
This is a perfect spot. This is the perfect spot for Dabo Swinney. Dabo Swinney has all the motivation.
In the world.
Going into that game, he has the speech already written for him, saying, "Hey, nobody believes in you. We won our conference. We got sent on the road. No one believes in you. Go out and shock the world."
Yep. And it's an afternoon. It's the 4:00 game on Saturday.
Yeah, it is. which puts it in perfect. It puts it in perfect timing for everyone who normally watches on Saturday anyway. Because most of Texas's games have been, the late slate. I mean, I'm still taking Texas in this just because of the way the offense is. And Clemson, it's an ACC team. Yeah, good luck with that.
But if there was a game that's ever primed for an upset, this would be it.
Yeah, this would be the one where Clemson smacking Texas in the mouth would send a statement to everybody.
And you got the one that leads off Saturday, which is SMU and Penn State.
And again, this one even had a minor shift. Penn State went from a 9-point favorite with a 53.5 over-under to an 8.5-point favorite and a 54.5 over-under.
Wow.
I'll repeat Dietz's words. That should tell you everything you need to know. On both sides, on both sides of the ball. Most of the folks
that is shocking that it went down. So that means the money's coming in on SMU.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, this was the game early on when we were looking at it. It was a split decision.
Yeah.
Snowman, you and I went with SMU while Dietz went with Penn.
Mm-hmm. And this is like I said, this is the game that kicks off the Saturday. This is the one that kicks off the Saturday slate. Oh, brother. And the give me the line. What were the lines when they started?
For SMU and Penn was favored by 9, over under 53.5. And now it's Penn favored 8.5, over under 54.5.
There's some mistrust there.
Yeah. And bear in mind, this has all been in the span of 10 days or so, give or take.
Well, you know where all the mistrust is. It's we said it about Marcus Freeman. We said it about Ryan Day. We'll say it in this game.
James Franklin.
Do you trust James Franklin in a big game?
So far in his Penn State tenure, no.
So far, the answer to that has been without Saquon Barkley, no.
Without you can't.
No, you can't. And that's the thing.
And that's why this one is even a toss up. On the field and the players, this shouldn't even be close.
Shouldn't.
It shouldn't, but it will be. But it will be because of the coaching decisions that Penn State makes.
Yeah, 4th and 2 from the 5-yard line against Ohio State and a chance to tie. That tell you anything? Does that tell you anything, folks?
Right.
All right, we're going to get on out of here. Dietz joins us as he does every Thursday as we dropped our preview of the playoff games. And Dietz, my brother, thank you very much. We love you. Can't wait to wrap these up with you.
Thank you, guys. And well, let's get going for all these bowl games that we have again, for all these meaningless bowl games.
Thank you, Dietz. Appreciate you.
Passionate.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
Dietz.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
I'm tired.
Then let's get out of here.
Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. I'm going back to bed. So long. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do tomorrow.
I know one thing. Joel Embiid's a bitch. And by the way, Baltimore fans, this is why you won't make the playoffs. See y'all tomorrow for the end of the year. We're out of here.